Hi guys, and welcome once again to Curated Logic, where we try and up your brain game. Curated Logic is well and truly back for 2022 with our first review video of the year. When trying to figure out which game to play as the first game of the year, I had a lot of choices. There have been a number of seemingly good puzzle games to entertain that have come out since the last review, not to mention, of course, everything that has come before that I am yet to play. But in the end, my choice was made up by an article I read a couple of weeks ago about the Zen puzzle game Unpacking from Humble Games. This article only spoke briefly about the game, pointing out how it recently won the Bafta Games Award for EE Game of the Year, above other games with bigger budgets and bigger teams working on them, and also how well received generally the title has been. So, without knowing much else than those simple facts, I decided to see what all the fuss was about. The premise of Unpacking is very simple. The game takes place over 20 or so years in the life of a woman, with each new stage, in inverted commas, being the next home the woman is moving into. From child to teenage college student to living with a partner and so on. Your job in every stage, as this woman, is to unpack your life across relevant rooms. That is the crux of the entire game. So, on to the actual review. As always, I like to start with what I liked about the game. From the beginning, I thought the music of Unpacking was quite emotive. It set up a feeling that there was going to be an underlying, moving narrative, pardon the pun. This made me excited, as it reminded me of the way music was used in games like The Gardens Between and Gorogoa, to which the reviews of both I have linked below. This feeling of excitement and expectation was also slightly enhanced by the simple graphics, which, although I was not completely sure about when I first saw them, I knew could add to a feeling of nostalgia from their simplicity, as if they were graphics from an older game, matching up with the game's timeline starting in the mid-90s. From here, however, I was surprised to find that, despite excellent reviews and awards to its name, I personally did not really enjoy anything else about this game. The game, as far as reviews and descriptions online go, is called a Zen puzzle game. First, let's start with the most important part of that summary for the intent of Curated Logic, it being a puzzle game. Despite understanding that each general genre of game covers a wide gamut of types of game, I found very little about Unpacking that provided me with what I consider to be essential elements in a puzzle game. The most essential of which is to switch on your brain and make it work for its supper. Granted, there are certain rooms and spots within rooms that you can't place certain objects, but figuring out where they go wasn't puzzling, and there was nothing taxing or brain stimulating about what was needed to be done. So, let's then suggest that, according to me, which is of course what this review is, the description of the game as a puzzle game is tenuous. Does it at least provide the other part of its widely used description, that being a feeling of Zen? Unfortunately, to that, for me, I have to say no. I can see how the repetitiveness and ability to have some variety in how to place items within a room within sensible parameters could be found to be calming and entertaining for some. I mean, if it wasn't, The Sims would never have been as big a success as it was. But to me, it was just plain boring. Within about 20 minutes, I was ready for the game to end, if it was going to be more of the same. In fact, I had to push myself pretty hard to finish the game, my brain actually hurting from being frustrated with how bored I was. This frustration was added to by the sometimes finicky controls, like when trying to open or close a drawer whilst holding something. The fact that some of the objects I could not tell what they were. Speaking of which, if someone could let me know in the comments what this cat thing is, that would be awesome. And the fact that sometimes, as if trying to offer a puzzle element, an object needed to be placed somewhere that felt completely random and simply would not work where it would be expected to go. If that was meant to be the puzzle element, it didn't make sense to me and offered no aha moment when I finally figured out where to put the particular object. Just more frustration. The other thing that I found a letdown was the story. Although excited initially by the potential for something touching, I feel that a massive opportunity was missed by providing so many repetitive objects in each new place to be unpacked. Yes, I understand that someone carries with them through their life things from their past to each new abode they live in, but for the most part, I didn't feel they told an engaging story or added real substance to the game. These things felt very superficial and cliched, which also then made the end of the game feel similarly so, leaving me feeling with no real emotional or intellectual connection with the game, one or the other of which I have come to expect when playing something new. So you can imagine my surprise also finding it had won Best Narrative Bafta as well. And finally, although I was glad for it, the game is also quite brief in gameplay, and for its cost, it really should have provided more than just a couple of hours playthrough time for those who enjoy playing. Now, I will say that this has been my harshest review yet, and I do not enjoy speaking negatively about a game, but when I started Curated Logic, I committed myself to always reviewing the games I choose honestly, and not skipping a review because it's going to be more negative than positive. Still, despite me not enjoying it, I have to applaud the creators of Unpacking, as it is clear my opinion is in the minority, and it is a game a large range of people are really enjoying. With that said, I give Unpacking by Humble Games a 5 out of 10. No matter how I tried to enjoy the game, it just was not my bag, perhaps indicating that I should stick away from Zen puzzle games from now on. I hope you enjoyed that review of Unpacking by Humble Games. If you did and would like to see more reviews and other content, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And you can also subscribe to the Curated Logic Instagram page for riddles and puzzles I have created. And if you have played Unpacking and have an opinion on it, please also let me know what you thought in the comments below. As always, I hope that wherever you are in the world, you are keeping safe and happy. Until next time, keep upping your brain game and have fun. See ya.